Greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Peace and greetings, you all. Yep, peace and greetings. Um, we are live. And peace and greetings and welcome. I'm your host, Maurice Muhammad. Welcome to your latest episode of Everything Real Estate with um, your host, Maurice Muhammad from Progressive Realty. Today we have with us a very special guest, and this is Everything Real Estate as we are here with you to talk about real estate. We have a guest that has some information on that is with the intent of helping um, new investors and new real estate professionals to share with them information on real estate and how to better their real estate business. Again, my name is Maurice Muhammad, and this is your podcast of Everything Real Estate. Um, and with the intention of who we are, Everything Real Estate is we intend to bring real estate information to the public and to real estate professionals with the intent of helping to grow your business, helping you to become more informed about the real estate business, helping you to become more informed about real estate as a whole. And we have two podcasts. So we have Everything Real Estate Rimby, which is a sister podcast that we have. We'll have a guest on tomorrow that will be talking. I believe the subject matter is we did evictions last week, but we have a special subject tomorrow. Tune in. I won't give you the topic. Tune in tomorrow and hear from it. It's the same time, 4 o'clock. We have a special guest. And that's our Everything Real Estate Rimby edition. And that podcast is strictly for property management. This podcast is Everything Real Estate, where we talk topics on real estate purchasing. We had guests on our show. We had a guest on the show, and he talked to us about receivership. As one of our somebody put a mean mug up there. That angry face, Hamza. Okay, Saudi Hamza. What's going on, brother Hamza? So put your comment in the chat if we could help you, bro. So we talked about receivership, which was a last guest that we had. He gave us a wealth of information on receivership. Last week on our Rimby podcast, we had information on evictions. This week, we're going to have some more good information. So without any more from myself, and I want to talk about our guest, Alvin Toney is a devout family man who has raised both daughters on his own since 1991. He loves sports, reading, and outdoors. Alvin has served in the United States Navy for 23 and a half years, from 1978 to 2002, before retiring as an electronic technician chief petty officer. He earns his bachelor's degree in financing and banking and served as the command's financial specialist chief. He started his part-time career in real estate investing with his first home purchase in December of 1986. He bought his second home in 1991. That story sounds familiar. Having a tremendous love for real estate investing and training sellers on how to purchase their first home. He received his real estate sales license in 1992. He believes that home ownership was the way to financial wealth. That's a fact. He since his retirement from the military service, he opened BST Realty and Mortgage Inc., KDAR Development Services Inc., and AGT Property Management, Inc. In 2006, Alvin started a California financial lending company that helped unlicensed people achieve their financial goals through originating mortgage loans. Alvin Toney helped the nonprofit organization USA Homeownership Foundation, DBA, doing business as Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals, VAREP, since before its inception in 2001 by traveling the country, meeting with major banking institutions, bringing awareness to the needs of of the veteran community. Since then, Alvin helped organize, create chapters, served on the board as state director, and helped set legislative policy for veterans and the organization in 2019. Um, he has served as he has served as the president of the Inland Empire um, Association of Realtors, a part of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, the largest African American organization dedicated to democracy and housing. He has held other positions with California Association of Real Estate Brokers, to name a few. And vice president, he has a lengthy resume and impressive lengthy resume, um, and vice president of Southern California, creating solutions to help to increase Black home ownership in his community and increase opportunities for his peers and agents. He established an NID housing counseling agency, Riverside, NID Housing Counseling Agency, Riverside, San Bernardino County's branch, and in December of 2018, in which also has offices in Moreno, what is that, Moreno Valley? Is that Moreno Valley?
Moreno Valley.
Moreno Valley and San Bernardino, serving Los Angeles, San Diego, Riverside, Orange, and San Bernardino counties. NIDHCA is a HUD-approved counseling agency specializing in foreclosure prevention, down payment assistance. So if you have some foreclosure needs or you have some rental needs and anything that is related to housing, if you need pre-purchase and you want to know how to buy your first-time home buyers, he's your man in those counties that we just mentioned. Um, Loan modification assistance and reverse mortgage counseling. He has truly been a blessing to his community's school district and local government. Alvin and his team believes in serving the community and preserve the family legacy through home ownership. Alvin Toney lives by two mottos: changing lives, one home at a time, and everyone should have two homes. Nice. One to live in and one to retire in. So that being said, thank you, Alvin, for joining us, and thank you for being a part of Everything Real Estate this week and taking your time to join us. I was excited about, we talked prior to this, and we talked about some of the what you wanted to present and provide for the listeners, and we just want to get right into it, if that's okay with you. So
Absolutely.
Okay, great, good stuff, man. So I just want to have a conversation. We're gonna just talk real estate, man. There's nothing too formal. We don't have to make it real stiff and rigid. We want to make it possible for the viewers to come on, and if they have questions, please don't hesitate to bring your questions on. If you want, bring your questions and bring all your questions and ask questions or comments. Anything you want to bring, present. Type it in the chat. If you can see it, you have access to the chat. You have access to it. And this is live right now, and you'll be able to present your questions and ask us questions and ask Alvin questions, and we'll definitely would love to answer those for you. So my very first question, Alvin, is um and we talked about the process of how to build your business and how to turn your hobby into a real estate business. And that was what the tentative topic that we talked about. And that's what we're going to talk about, today, based on our last conversation. And that's what we're going to just get into. We're going to get into that and go right there from there. So without any more, can you tell us who is Alvin? Who is Alvin, and who are you, and who is Alvin Lewis? Well, I just ran it, did a rundown on your bio, but In your own words, who is Alvin Lewis? Please.
Well, Alvin Toney is a very simple
I'm
man.
sorry, Alvin Tony. I apologize, said Lewis.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Like you said, we just talking here.
Yeah.
Um, just a simple guy whose goal is to do something for people in the community. Um, all I want to do is help people, and I do that in so many different ways. I look for ways to be able to be a blessing to people, and
Hmm.
so that's just who I am.
Hmm.
Service is who we are.
Service is who we are. So that's good. Service is about service. It said that if you serve, then the rest will come. If you do business and be about the service of business and being about service, the rest of it will come automatically. So, um, so can you tell me what do you do? So what is your specialty? Like, so what do you do as far as what's your day to day, you know, um, business? What do you do in your area in California? There, I mean, I know the prices are a little different than what we have here. Um,
That's an understatement.
a lot different than what we have here. So, like, so what do you do? What do you do? So, what's your you work with a lot of veterans from based on your bio. We just talked about you work with veterans, and what's your primary focus? What's your primary bread and butter? What works? What
No,
you do as far as
believe it or not, I can always point to the $800,000 sale we just had in Los Angeles, or the $700,000 sale that we just had up in Moreno Valley. But my bread and butter is the underserved.
mm,
Um, I get more calls from people who want to buy a home that they found out that they thought they couldn't buy a home. So those are the people that we actually target. We target the underserved,
right?
um, the people that just nobody wants to be bothered, don't
Hmm.
want to give them a chance.
Right, right.
And so that has been the blessing. That's really been the blessing. Always been there, always done that.
Hmm.
Um, Trying to be a champion for people that look like me and talk like me. So
Nice.
I mean that's who I serve. And don't get me wrong, I love everybody, but veterans and African Americans and the minority group is who I do most of my business with, and that's who we target.
So, that being said, um, that's our primary business too. And um, of who we serve is the underserved, and that's what I wouldn't trade it in for anything. And serving the underserved, I believe that that's what I'm here for. That's my job. I feel compelled to do it. I feel that I'm compelled to do that. It's a responsibility. I have a responsibility to do that, to serve the underserved. Um, so when did you get started, or when did you find that that was, what you wanted to do? When, at what point in your career, and at what point did this become, your go to, or your choice and your desire?
Well, I mean, again, I've always been about service. So
Mhm.
being in the military, you have to be, I think, in order to be great there. You have to be. You have to service has to be number one. But as far as real estate goes, I mean, I can remember way back when my mom bought her first house in 1972, and how that changed our life. We was living in a lot of downtrodden before that, but once she bought a house, stability, friends, and all these other things just came into play. It changed my life again. That was just an easy transformation. So moving out to California, real estate was it ain't as great. It wasn't as great as it is now, but I could still see a future in it when I was buying it, flipping properties. And because everybody wanted to be able to do the same thing, I decided to start doing it full time, part time as a real estate agent. And
So
so that's where I got started.
nice.
But the calling came, and when I finally started understanding, I joined NARAB, and that's when the calling really came because I did not understand. I didn't understand what we was up against,
Now, when you say two questions,
and trying to purchase.
I want to ask you. You said, "Can you? Hello, are you there? Can you hear me?"
I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you
Yeah, I
explain
hear you.
what NARAB is to those that may not know what that is, and then also explain when you say what we're up against? Kind of clarify that, if you don't mind.
Okay. NARAB, National Association of Real Estate Brokers, largest African American trade organization in the country. That believes, lives and bleeds democracy and housing. And so, until I joined NARAB, I didn't know that it was people that looked like me and talked like me was having a hard time purchasing a house. And so then I just started understanding the mechanics and how there was so many hurdles put up in front of people, especially the underserved. There was a lot of hurdles that prevented people from being able to purchase a home. And so that's when I kind of got caught fire. Because I 1000% believe that if you want to buy a home, you should be able to buy a home. As long as you do what everybody else does, you should be able to do that. But it turns out that there's some stumbling blocks that keep us from, or the fear keeps us from being able to purchase, or even the knowledge. A lot of times we don't even have the knowledge of what we need to do to be able to purchase a home. So that's what we was up against: lack of knowledge and institutional stumbling blocks.
I'm glad you. I wanted. I'm glad you mentioned that part, and I wanted two things I want to ask you, but I want to go to the hurdles first and ask you. Just now, we're on two different coasts. You're on the West Coast, probably West Coast, and I'm on the East Coast. And I just want you to hear, and the audience to hear, if you are you able to share some of the hurdles, or what hurdles, when you say hurdles, institutional hurdles that you come up against when trying to buy a home or help someone to get into a home, that are that we can tangibly put before people.
Well, I know I'm probably gonna get shot when I do this, but the first thing is the one that we know about: credit. We don't understand credit. No one really explains or teaches us credit, and so that is one of our major stumbling blocks. The next one is, in my opinion, and this has happened to me more than a couple of times, where we submitted a package to a lender, and the lender got a lot of issues with not the loan officer themselves, but when they submitted to underwriting denied them. The package looked great. I mean, the borrower was strong, but they got denied. So what end up doing is they end up removing the driver's license to the package, because this lender needed a driver's license up front. They removed the driver's license, and so resubmitted the package, and guess what? It got approved.
Wow.
So I know most lending institutions don't do things like that, but it's happened to me twice in the last 4 years that I know of. there's always something. But through education, we will be able to prevail. I mean,
Fact.
I just believe when we know better, we do better. Um, and the next stumbling block is sometimes of our own making. We have to believe. We have to believe, and we have to trust each other. Nobody's perfect. Bad things happen to everybody, but you have to believe, and you have to trust, and we have to trust in each other.
Yeah, trust the process. And so um, Patricia and if you and Hamza, join the chat and put your comments in chat if you have any comments, if you have any questions. We'd love to hear from you. So you mentioned those hurdles, and the reason I asked that question is because um, similar things happen locally here, as well as similar things happen locally here as early as before we got on this call. Um, we deal with that, and we're dealing with some of those issues of being of having being told, and when I say told, I mean TOLL, paying the toll price, the toll costs, when one knows, or when it's slipped that the borrower is a borrower of color, or then pricing starts to come out, scrutiny, all the scrutiny, because okay, is this loan going to close, and all the things that would not normally happen to anyone else on the other deal, the unnecessary roughness, the unnecessary roughness, man, that comes with the process. So I just wanted to hear from another coast and another coast, the other side, and see what was your experiences, and similar, it's similar to the same. So what you mentioned a couple of things. You said flipping, and what does that look like in your area in California, process wise? And I'm sure it's the same everywhere across the board, just maybe different dollar amounts and price points. You buy the deal with enough in it that you can make a profit, renovate it, sell it for a higher price. That's pretty much the basis of what a flip is, right? But what does that look like in your market? And do you have inventory? Are you have inventory right now?
Inventory is low. Investors are anxious. Um, you know, I can say probably 4 days out of a week I'm going to get a call or a text or something from an investor looking for something. Even the investors that I have in my database are everybody's fighting over the same property. There's just not a lot. There's enough. I mean, inventory is low, but opportunity is still there. And in some cases, we had to go out and find our own inventory. Finding people who are thinking about selling, interested in selling, but haven't pulled the trigger yet. We had to go in that direction in order to keep the listings and the buyers moving.
Gotcha. So we got a question from Facebook user, and the question is how is the market on the West Coast? That's the question we got.
I gotta say, well, COVID-19 definitely has put a kink in a lot of people's armor, but I gotta say that this has been the best and I'm sorry I hate saying this, but this has actually been one of our best years. And the reason, we don't have the inventory. However, if you're in the community and organizations and people know that you're about the community, they tend to seem to bring opportunities your way.
Right.
All I can say is, everybody just keep don't give up. And the other thing with COVID, it allowed us to slow down a little bit and think about what's important in our business.
Mm-hmm.
And the focus on those things, and those things have been instrumental in making this one of our best years. I and we've been able to help a lot of people, because obviously foreclosures are going to be on the rise. We see quite a few people anyway through the housing counseling activities, but we're fearful that it's going to grow. However, our number one goal is to get out there and let people know that we're here and we're here to help. Because when you save somebody from foreclosure, life is really, really good. It feels great.
Facts. So no, that is a fact. Thank you for that. So you're a serial entrepreneur. You've been in business for a while, in multiple businesses at that. And you mentioned COVID. You mentioned that the opportunity, this gave us the opportunity to kind of regroup, look at and see what was important, and reevaluate our business, right? And to be able to. So my question is, to the person that's in business and they're starting over or regrouping, and they don't know what to do, and they're taking the time and they're kind of looking to do something. What do you suggest? What is your recommendation to them? And I have another question from the audience too. After that, but what do you suggest to? Let's take my question second. Let's take the audience question first, because it's about them and not us. And that is a question I have. I'll get to it. But so the question is, I'll say the question, then I'll go to the audience question. But so you can think about it. What do you suggest to them if they're regrouping or thinking and considering doing any business? So just think about what's your answer, what you would answer to them, as a suggestion to them if they are looking to get in business and have fears and have doubts. And then the audience question is, what are you doing to keep buyers encouraged? Very good question, because you stay talking people off the ledge sometimes, man. So from the beginning to end, So what are you doing to keep your buyers encouraged?
In order to keep buyers encouraged, because every now and then some buyers, it may take 30, 60 days to get them into a home.
Mm-hmm.
What I always preach is how purchasing that home is going to change your life. That's my speech. I mean, the reason why most people are buying a home, especially the ones that look like me, are buying a home, in my opinion, to change the narrative. And so I don't let them forget that. Every week, I have showing agents that actually go out and show for me. So I call them every week, or if I'm with them, I mean, we may just go look at a couple of properties just for GP. The goal is everybody needs to be in the house within 30 days. However, if it does go longer than that, I just give them the narrative of why they're buying a house. I mean, I remind them constantly, you're changing your life, your kids' life.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people that chance that properties won't ever go back up again. However, though, nothing else, the stability is worth the price of admission. The stability that you give your family, is worth $1 million. If you make a few dollars on it at the same time, consider yourself blessed. So I just keep preaching to them you're here to change your situation, and I never let them forget that,
That's a good one. The
especially if they
stability.
get sad
Hmm.
and they believe it's not going to happen. Oh yes, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
there, there's no such thing as it not going to happen. We, just be patient, and it's absolutely going to happen.
So the stability is worth the price of the mission. That's a good one. Yeah, that's definitely a good one to remember and stand by. And I like the point you made about reminding them of what their initial intent was. Is keep going back to why did they desire, what was their desire, and desire feeds the will. So if you reminded them of what their desire was and what brought them to the table in the first place about buying, reminding them of why, because sometimes it gets lost in the noise and all of what's going on. And I like to keep,
Exactly.
yeah, and find out what's their motivating factor, what motivates them, why do you want to buy it. Place is too small, and you keep that out front and remind them that you now have 3 bedrooms, in 1,500 square feet of space versus the 800 square feet that you're moving from, or the
Hmm.
fact that it's going to be cheaper in rent that you'll be paying possibly, or and you're buying this, and just reminding them of what their desire was. So that, yep. So thank you for that. So I don't need to ask you whether it's your calling. You covered that. You stated that was your calling. We covered that, and you said it's your calling. What's your secret sauce, and what is Alvin's secret sauce? What's your secret sauce? And I used to work with an Alvin Lewis in my office in Jersey, and his name just stuck in my head, and that's what happened earlier. I got his name stuck in my head. So, what's your secret sauce, Alvin? What's your secret sauce?
Um, I think my secret sauce, as it pertains to business, is uh, I don't believe any. There's nothing. Nothing is all things are possible.
Hmm.
All things are possible, and so all you have to do is be able to be patient. I pray about it. I pray a lot, and and with that infinite wisdom that comes to me, uh, anything is possible. So I like to believe that I can help change every situation. Don't get me wrong, we can't save everybody, um, but in my head and in my heart, I'm gonna do my very best. Have a can-do spirit, and so that can-do spirit has taken me through a lot of trials and tribulations, and I can sit here in front of you right now, Maurice, and say life is great.
And that's a good thing, man. And that's a good thing. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that. And that's so um we are at our time. And I want to thank you. I think we've, covered
But
what we
Maurice,
wanted to
Maurice,
cover. Yeah, go ahead.
I know you're busy, but you did ask me another question. You said, what should some of these agents or
Oh, go ahead.
people
Yeah, right.
professionals
Right.
do?
Right.
And the first answer, first number one is, if they're gonna get into this business, you have to realize that this is a sales business,
Hmm.
and so therefore you acknowledge that it's a sales business, and so therefore you have to work it like a business.
Right.
Most I For years and years, I it was a hobby.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
granted, I was went up ups and downs. Definitely when we treated it like a hobby, but once we start treating it like a business, it doesn't get any easier. But your
Wow.
focus is totally different,
Right.
and it sustains you.
That's powerful, man. That's powerful. So that means getting up in the morning, just like you going to go to work. So even if you're at home doing and dealing with COVID, you should get up, get dressed, and go to work. for the 8 hours or for the time period that just like you're going to work. Treat it like a real business. That makes sense. That's power. There's power in that. You get up and you treat it like a business, then that's what it will be. So, anything else you got?
Exactly. I mean, I
Well
got a
done.
lot,
You got a lot.
but
So,
let's,
go ahead.
let's save that for another day.
All right. So we're gonna give you the last closing remarks. Any closing remarks that you have that you want to share with anyone, with the viewers? It'll be up and it'll be viewed. Those that may not be on it now, they will have access to viewing it. It'll be on the on our YouTube page, and and it often gets more views later than we do while we're on. So what you have is going to be documented. Possibly someone can use it, someone can benefit from it. I know with the wealth of experience that you have, somebody will be able to benefit from what you're bringing and presenting. So definitely, what you have, anything that you would like to share and give.
Well, all right. These are trying times. Some of this is unprecedented. We've never seen this in our lifetime. And it's causing a lot of stress and depression, especially in some of the veteran communities. But all I can say is to my NAREB family, to my NID family, to my VA rep family, you know what the mission is, and I just stay strong in the mission. Believe in yourself, believe in each other, and believe in your almighty power, and great things are going to happen. Just hang in there and be patient, but get up, like you said, get up every day and go to work. And we're gonna get through this. And we're gonna do some great things for our community.
Yeah. Thank you for that. With that being said, thank you for that. Alvin, appreciate your time, man. Thank you for taking the time out to be with us and sharing and imparting your wisdom and knowledge and experience, strength, and hope. From what you've been through and your business experience and your successes. Because it's a big difference when you hear about it. It's even bigger when you see someone that's doing it. It makes a difference. These lives and this information is going to be on. This is out there. Once it's done, it's documented, and it'll be out there for other people to benefit from. So the purpose of why we do this is to share information and possibly give someone opportunity that they can benefit from, maybe having a desire to get into real estate or get into business for themselves. We plan to have one for each one of the food chains. We want to have one that speaks strictly and specifically to commercial real estate. One that speaks specifically. We have one that speaks specifically to property management already, but we want to have one that speaks specifically to all of the food chains and different, whether it's all the food chains as it relates to real estate. One that speaks to mortgages. One that speaks to every aspect of it, so that way, it's covered under it. So the purpose is to serve and to give information and to be of service. I'm a strong believer in that. When you know better, you do better, like you said. And when you have, to whom much is given, much is required. We have knowledge in this industry. It's up to us, and we're compelled to share it and help others to make it, if they have a desire to do it. The reason we do it live and it's impromptu is because it's more authentic that way. We want to make sure that people know that we welcome their questions, and there's no question that you can't ask that won't be that will be frowned upon. Is really for you. We're here for you, to bring our experience for the length of time that we've been in the business. We're here to share with you our experience, strength, and hope, and help you to be better at what you do if you in real estate. With that being said, I want to thank you again. Thank you all for who tuned in. Thank you for joining us and sharing your time. Even if you popped in for 1 minute and jumped off, if you stayed the whole time. We appreciate you just the same. Again, I'm your host, Maurice Muhammad from Everything Real Estate, and this is your Everything Real Estate podcast, COVID edition. And it's COVID versus real estate is the topic and title. And we're here in this COVID versus real estate because real estate is going to definitely win, and we're here to stay. We just don't know what the outcome of it is going to be and what it's going to look like, but we welcome it. We've been through worse. We've been through other things, and we've always been bounced back. 2010, 2008, and 2010, we thought that was bad and now we're here. So that's it for myself. I want to thank you. Join us tomorrow at 4:00 for Everything Real Estate RIMBY, a property management podcast. Bring your property management questions. Bring any questions that you have. Bring your property management ear. If you have a desire, you're considering becoming a property manager, you'll hear information on how you can join classes and become certified, how you can get your certification. You know about those property management courses. I think you have 3 of them, right? 3 of the certifications?
I've done 3. I have 3. One more to go.
One more to go. You'll have that crim. So
one more to go.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Definitely. Yeah. One thing about it, though, for certain, just on that note, is that in my experience, I've been able to, from day one, when I left the class, I was able to take that information and apply it immediately and apply it to my business Monday morning. So that's been my experience with that. So nothing more for myself. I'm not going to take any more of your time. I appreciate your time and thank you for.
No, I appreciate you, Maurice.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yep. God bless you, and God bless those who all had joined us. And we'll see you soon next